morning, White Sox fans. This is your Sox Machine White Sox wake-up call for Wednesday, September 13, 2023. I'm Josh Nelson. Yesterday was a doubleheader for the White Sox and Royals as Monday was washed away. Couldn't ask for better weather conditions in Chicago as it was sunny and in the upper 60s for Game 1. Dylan Cease took the mound opposing Brady Singer, and Singer's last outing against the White Sox, he struggled greatly in the second inning as he allowed 6 earned runs on 3 homers in 5 innings of total work against the White Sox. But the Royals came from behind to win that game 7-6. You remember that game as the walk-off win as Gregory Santos never came set. Well, in the first inning, the White Sox hitters were on center. Tim Anderson singled to center field, and Andrew Benintendi and Luis Robert both walked to load the bases for Eloy Jimenez with no outs. Using a sand wedge, I kid. Jimenez was able to chip a grounder perfectly for an infield single to drive in Anderson. Then Yohan Moncada pulled a single to right field to score a run. After Andrew Vaughn struck out, Gavin Sheets singled to center field. That base knock scored 2 runs, and the White Sox were rolling. They were up 4-0. Another run came through when Elvis Andrus beat out a 4-6-3 double play attempt. Dylan Cease was given a 5-run cushion, and in his last outing, couldn't take advantage of it to get deep into the game. In his start against the Royals yesterday, the good Kansas City only scored 1 run off Cease, which was an Edward Olivares RBI double in the 4th inning. Cease only allowed 5 base runners with 4 hits and a walk, and Cease struck out 8 batters. Cease threw 102 pitches, only covering 5 1/3 innings. Sure, it's nitpicking, but that's back-to-back starts against Kansas City that Cease couldn't get through 6 innings. His season ERA does lower, though, to 4.87 on the season. In the 6th inning, the White Sox tacked on another run when Andrew Vaughn doubled to left field, his 27th double of the season. Elvis Andrus picked up his 2nd RBI of the game with a single to center field. Andrews would advance to second base on the throw and would later steal third base. That was Andrews' 12th steal of 2023. But the White Sox couldn't drive Andrews in. Corey Lee flew out. Anderson walked, but Benintendi struck out. In that at-bat, assistant hitting coach Chris Johnson was arguing about a low strike call. He got ejected. Kansas City scored again in the 8th inning when Lane Ramsey got a little wild. Bobby Witt Jr. singled and advanced to second base off a wild pitch, and then that Edward Olivares again came up with the big hit with an RBI single to make it 6-2. That would be the final score as the White Sox took Game 1, and they improved at that moment at 56-88. Game 2, yikes for Touki Toussaint. He had a very rough outing. Toussaint gave up 8 runs in just 1 inning of work. He allowed 6 hits, 2 walks, and he hit 2 batters. The Royals at one point were up 9-0. I was praying for the mercy rule while sitting in the stands. Then a funny thing happened. After being no-hit for 4 innings, Eloy Jimenez hit a solo home run in the 5th inning. Then chaos in the 6th inning. Lenyn Sosa singled and advanced to second on a wild pitch. Zach Remillard doubled. Now it's a 9-2 game. Yohan Moncada singled. Now it's a 9-3 game. Andrew Vaughn doubled again. 9-4 game. Luis Robert Jr. singled. 9-5 game. Then Eloy Jimenez singled and Carlos Perez walked. So you got the bases loaded, nobody out. The game-tying run is now batting. Trace Thompson struck out, so that was the first out, which brought up Gavin Sheets. Sheets hit a deep fly splitting the center and left field gap, and his drive hit the wall, clearing the bases. Sheets advanced to third on a bad relay, so now it's 9-8, and Lenyn Sosa in his second at bat of the inning hit a deep fly to left field that reached the warning track, but fell short, resulted in a sac fly, and now it was a 9-9 game. According to NBC Sports Chicago's Chris Kamka, the last time the White Sox came from behind down by 9 runs was in 1978 against Cleveland, and they won that game. But the game was not tied for very long. Michael Garcia singled in the 7th inning off newly acquired White Sox reliever Davy Garcia. The base hit drove in Logan Porter, making it a 10-9 game. It was still a 10-9 game going into the 9th inning when Michael Kopech entered in relief. Darian Blanco singled and proceeded to steal second and third base. So Kopech is still struggling to hold runners. That was significant because Bobby Witt Jr. converted on that scoring opportunity with a sac fly, making it 11-9 game. The White Sox did pick up another run in the bottom of the 9th inning when Luis Robert Jr. beat out a double play for a fielder's choice RBI, but that was the extent of the White Sox offense. The Royals ended up winning 11-10, and the season series is now tied up 6 games apiece.
There's no I in team, but there is one in Indeed, and that's the hiring platform that you need to build yours. When you're hiring, you need Indeed. Instead of spending hours on multiple job sites searching for candidates with the right skills, Indeed's a powerful hiring platform that can help you do it all. One of the things I love about Indeed is that it makes hiring all in one place so easy because Indeed does the hard work for you. They show you the candidates whose resumes on Indeed fit your description immediately after you post so you can hire faster. Join more than 3 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. Start hiring now with a $75 sponsored job credit to upgrade your job post at Indeed.com/Blue Wire Sports. Offer good for a limited time. Claim your $75 credit now at Indeed.com/Blue Wire Sports. That's Indeed.com/Blue Wire Sports, and support the show by saying that you heard it on this podcast. Indeed.com/Blue Wire Sports. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed.
Tonight, starting at 6:40 p.m. Central Time, the White Sox and Royals play for the last time in 2023. Starting for the White Sox will be Mike Clevinger. After he allowed 8 earned runs in 4 innings against Detroit 2 starts ago, Clevinger was very good in his last outing against those Tigers pitching. 7 scoreless innings, allowing just 3 hits with 7 strikeouts. Clevinger at Guarantee Rate Field is 4-3 on the season with a 3.63 ERA in 10 starts, spanning 52 innings. Clevinger has 50 strikeouts and just 21 walks and has only allowed 6 home runs, which is impressive for the ballpark. The Royals are not sure yet who will be starting for them, so stay tuned on who they announce. You can watch the game on NBC Sports Chicago or listen on ESPN 1000 AM. With the low A and high A playoffs starting, only the Charlotte Knights and Birmingham Barons are in action for the White Sox minor league affiliates. In Charlotte, Christian Mena made the start. He went 4 2/3 innings, allowed 3 hits, 1 earned run, but he walked 5 batters with his 6 strikeouts. The Nashville Sounds won the game 5-3. Oscar Colas went 0 for 5 with 2 strikeouts. The Barons visited the Chattanooga Lookouts, and Tim Elko had himself a game, and he's having himself a season. Elko went 3 for 4 with a home run and 4 RBIs. For the minor league season, covering 3 levels, Elko's hit 27 home runs and driven 101 RBIs. Is he a legit prospect? I don't know, but he's putting up fun numbers. Around Major League Baseball, former Milwaukee Brewers president of baseball operations David Stearns has officially been named in the same role for the New York Mets. In the worst-kept secret around baseball, Stearns will be tasked in trying to turn around the Mets, who have spent a lot of money with mixed results since owner Steve Cohen has taken over. It'll be interesting to see if Stearns can take his team-building approach tactics from Milwaukee to Queens with the game's biggest wallet to spend. Scores around Major League Baseball. The New York Yankees and Boston Red Sox also had a doubleheader at Fenway. In Game 1, the Yankees won 3-2. Rafael Devers hit his 30th home run of the season, and Nick Pivetta struck out 10 batters, but the Yankees scored all 3 of their runs in the 6th inning thanks to Gleyber Torres' go-ahead 2-run single. The Yankees won Game 2 4-1 as old friend Carlos Rodon was quite good. The games that have postseason implications. The Colorado Rockies beat the Chicago Cubs 6-4, despite Pete Crow Armstrong making some sensational defensive plays in center field. That's good news for Milwaukee Brewers fans because the Brewers pick up another game on the Cubs in the National League Centrals. They beat the Miami Marlins 3-1. The New York Mets beat the Arizona Diamondbacks 7-4. The Texas Rangers beat the Toronto Blue Jays 6-3, despite Max Scherzer leaving the game with an apparent injury. So we'll have to see what Texas reports later today about Scherzer's injury. That win is significant for Texas because the Rangers now have the tiebreaker over the Blue Jays. Remember, there is no Game 163, so if the Rangers and Blue Jays finish with identical records, the Rangers own the tiebreaker now. The Atlanta Braves beat the Philadelphia Phillies 7-6 in extra innings, and the Cincinnati Reds beat the Detroit Tigers in extra innings 6-5. Looking at the National League wildcard race right now in the standings, the Philadelphia Phillies would still be the number 4 seed. They are 79-66. They're a game and a half up on the Chicago Cubs, who would be the 5th seed at 78-68. The Cubs are 2 games ahead of the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks would still be the 6th seed. They're 76-70. Then you got San Francisco and Cincinnati. They're a game back of the Arizona Diamondbacks. And the Miami Marlins are still hovering around. They're a game and a half back of Arizona. In the American League, it's starting to become more clear with the postseason picture as the Houston Astros have a 2-game lead in the American League West. When you look at the American League wildcard, Tampa Bay right now, solid spot as the 4 seed. They're 89-57. They're 8.5 games up on Texas and Toronto. Texas right now would be that 5th seed. They are 80-64. They're a game and a half up on Toronto, who would be the 6th seed. They're 80-65. Seattle is 79-65. They're a half game back of Toronto. So really the race in the American League seems to be this Texas-Toronto-Seattle battle. And again, Texas owning that tiebreaker over the Blue Jays is a very big deal. That will do it for this White Sox wake-up call. You can follow us on Twitter. We're at Sox Machine. You can follow me on Twitter at SoxMachine_Josh. Subscribe to the Sox Machine podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, such as Spotify and Apple Music. We also upload podcast episodes into our YouTube channel, which please subscribe to at youtube.com/SoxMachine. If you enjoy our work and want more, you can get more by subscribing to our Patreon to receive exclusive content and ad-free versions of the website of the podcast. Monthly plans start at $2, or you can save with an annual subscription. Again, sign up at patreon.com/SoxMachine. The White Sox Wake Up Call is a production of SoxMachine.com, your home for all things Chicago White Sox baseball and part of the Blue Wire Podcast Network. I'm Josh Nelson. Thanks for listening.